Worship sound techs. Live streaming is here to stay, so we might as well do it right. Let's talk about the 3 things that are killing your live stream audio and how we can fix it. Welcome to Blueprint Sounds. My name is Nathan Smith, and today I want to help out sound techs. As I listen to live streams throughout the country, there are 3 things that keep popping up that we can do to make our live stream better. 2 of them are super simple. So I have some audio examples, and I want you to guess and see if you can figure out what's wrong with this example before I tell you what it is, and then we'll listen to the correct versions for all of these. So, ready? Number 1, let's listen to the incorrect example.
And make it your home. Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home. The gates are opening.
Could you guess what it was? The acoustic guitar is way too loud, right? The worship leader, in this case me, is playing the acoustic, but I have mixed that acoustic so hot that it is overbearing. It's taking the place of all of the other instruments. Now let's listen to it with it at a healthy but correct level.
Come and make it your home. Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home. The gates are opening.
Way better. In this example, the acoustic is providing what it should. And what the acoustic should provide is that glassy, gliding sound of the pick across the strings. It sounds really nice when it's at a certain level audible, but not overbearing. The other thing you have to watch out for with acoustic guitars is that a lot of cheap acoustics don't have very good pickups. So when you're getting the sound straight out of the acoustic through the guitar jack into your soundboard, they sound quacky really quick, and they can be harsh and hurt your ears. And there's no reverb, coming from right out of the jack, and so it sounds very isolated from the rest of the band. Adding a little reverb will help with that acoustic, but also bringing it lower in the mix to where it's audible, but not overbearing. So that's your first tip. For better mixes, bring that acoustic back so it's not so crazy. Tip number 2, see if you can hear what's going wrong in this musical example.
Come and make it your home. Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home. The gates are opening. Glory.
Did you get it? In this example, the background vocalist on harmony is way too loud in the mix. And this one happens a lot, and it surprises me. Let's listen to the second example where the background vocal is where it should be.
Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home. The gates are opening. Glory in the highest. Let the earth receive her King.
The point of the background vocal in giving that harmony is to thicken up and support the lead vocal, not to compete with it. When you push that background vocal up too far, it sounds and it feels like the background vocal is fighting the melody for supremacy. And that should never be the case. We always want the melody to be the king. So make sure that you have your melody right where you want it, and then slowly fade up your background vocal until it starts to thicken and support the melody, but don't go too far or it starts to compete, and then that's how you know that you should bring it back a little bit more. Also, sound engineers, make sure that you know who is leading from song to song, because oftentimes you might have 4 singers on stage. One is leading the first, one is leading the second, one is leading the third. Unless you change fader levels, you're going to have your melody from the first one be as loud as your harmony on the second one. And that's not what we want. We want a nice balance. Always let the melody win, and the harmony play support role. All right, let's look at our third musical example and see if you can tell what's going wrong here. Now this one's a little bit subtle, so you might have to listen on headphones. We'll see if you can grab it.
Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home.
All right, what's missing there are effects, reverb, and delay. Before I talk about that, let's listen to the good example with the reverb and the delay added back in.
In my heart, come and make it your home. Deep calls out to deep. You alone are worthy of a living offering. Come and make it your home. The gates are opening.
Much better. This one is a little bit harder than the balanced ones to hear, but what we're listening for is that sense of space after the note. And why do we need that? Well, let's talk about microphones. So when you sing into a microphone on a Sunday morning, right, you hold it about an inch or so away from your face. Well, there's nothing natural about that. No one goes up to a singer and stands nose to nose and has them sing into their face. And that's not how we listen to music either. We're always listening to it in a musical space. The reason why we close mic is so that we can get rid of bleed from other instruments and get that instrument to be on a fader where we can move it up and down volume-wise. But what we take out of the room is the room. Now, we don't hear that. We just hear the singer. Unless we add that back in with reverb and delay, you're going to wind up with a really dry, unnatural vocal sound. Vocals are the ones where it really, really shows up, but the whole band can benefit from a little reverb and delay because, again, the acoustic guitar, the electric guitar, they're all being plugged in directly. Maybe you might be miking an amp, but the acoustic is a great example. You're plugging straight from your acoustic into the soundboard. Well, it lives in a space too, or at least it needs to. So all of those instruments need some reverb and delay to get us back to, oh, we're in a room. We're not 2 inches or less away from our sound source. So make sure that you don't get scared of reverb and delay. This is especially true for young or inexperienced sound engineers. They tend to underdo it on their effects because they're afraid of overdoing it. In Livestream, you really, really have to make sure that you give that sense of space because people in the congregation can hear the walls of the church. People on the phone or on the laptop or sitting at home have none of that. So you have to go above and beyond to give them a sense of space. And in future videos, we'll talk about reverbs and delays because those can be a little bit tricky. But that is your top 3 right there. Unbalanced acoustics, acoustics that are too loud, that's your first killer. Second killer, background vocals that aren't. We never want our background vocals to compete with our melody. We always want the harmony to support and thicken, not get in the way. And then third, don't be afraid of reverb and delay. We have to get back to a natural sounding mix because remember, by close miking, we've taken the room away. Unless we give it back, it will sound weird. Hey, I hope that helps. If you have more questions or if you have other comments, please leave them below. If you like these videos and want more, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or better yet, go to blueprintsounds.com. There you'll see a link for an even deeper training called 5 Elements of a Full Sounding Worship Team. It's about 45 minutes long. It's awesome for your band to understand what role they fill, whether it's bass, drums, acoustic, electric, keys, synth, all those instruments working together. I show you how to put it into a framework and give your band language to be able to arrange any song quickly and make your practices go faster. So go to blueprintsounds.com and click on the download link for 5 Elements of a Full Sounding Worship Team. Until then, God bless and goodbye.